And Kirby's not going to get a turn yet because Kirby didn't receive anything. So Kirby is still stuck. So this does mean I have to actually change categories. And Spyro does have a few things, but not enough for me to go out of my way to go to Spyro right now. Because he's only got, like, a couple of stages versus what he had before. And those stages mostly aren't reachable. We did get Bentley, though. So let's see, we got a hunting axe, a shelter dress, decent cod bag, longbow, silver ingot, ether pouch, artisan vest, phoenix juice, tonic pouch, earring, tonic, artisan crown, sweet pop candy, diamond ingot, razor edge, that sounds good, milk, sour pop candy, nuts, decent cod, non-secret recipe, ether, broad axe, we're almost done with them now, Z potion, milk, war sword, shank, phoenix syrup, bitter pop candy. There's the arrow we learned recently, more nuts, silver ingot, plate mail, that sounds good, beads of defense, fresh salmon, knight's plate, and I think that's the last one. Yeah. So we got some very good heavy armor from the sound of things. Things there. Not actually as good as I'd hoped. Is the Orion armor giving more max HP is really nice? Though 5% more physical damage ain't bad. The alternative being 10 more vitality, which having 170 already, I don't think 10 is going to make that big a difference. 20 more defense, though, isn't bad, and 6 more resist, so yeah, I guess we'll switch to that. Not as exciting as I'd hoped. Razor Edge down here, 125 attack, 10 strength, 10 dexterity, not bad. War Sword is left behind, unfortunately, and the Broad Axe. Ooh, +1 strength per 2 levels is pretty good. That's nifty. And the Shank is terrible. That's a shame. The Hunting Axe is also not great. Oh yeah, we did get the Janbaya at some point. Guaranteed 43 evasion instead of 10 per turn, max 60, so we'd be losing 17 evasion in exchange for 10 attack and extra agility per turn. Why is it? Wait. That's got 35. It's got 135 attack versus 120 attack. Why is it a 10 attack difference? Shouldn't that be a 15 attack difference? Am I bad at math? It might be. So now he's gaining agility and dexterity. Oh wait, the dexterity is per level though, so he always has that 17 dexterity. Yeah, and he's got gold armor, so he's pretty much good. Good to go. The Artisan Vest's not bad, but it's not gold, so... Shelter Dress, ooh. Actually, that might go to you? His armor up is nice for you to have. No, Tao, I think you're wearing a dress. There you go. You enjoy that. If it makes you question things, well, deal with it. Okay, the beads of defense are just better than the jewel of defense, so go ahead and put that on as well. Ooh. That has potential if we get another earring of any kind, because I'm assuming it doesn't necessarily mean only just the earring item, it might be any earrings. But we don't have any other earrings at the moment. So there's potential there. Though on its own, 4 mana is kind of bleh at this point. That's probably something you were meant to get like way earlier. But we know where the check we need for Bomberman is. We know it's down in the jungle. So if we scroll down there, once I eventually remember where the jungle is, there it is. It's just right there. Atop overgrown building E of Ikalenia. We're not gonna rush over there, I don't think, though. 'Cause didn't we find new territory? Yeah, we found a bunch of new territory. Specifically up here where the Ice Fisher's hut is. We were starting to do a lot up here. And I'd rather do that right now than go chasing after jungle stuff. Okay, that immediately makes that useless. That also immediately makes it useless, though. Down tucks into a thing. It has to go left, then. Everywhere else tucks in somewhere immediately. No, that tucks in somewhere immediately, too. Fuck. There's something about these blocks I don't understand. Maybe they're... Huh. I was gonna say, maybe they interact with something else, but... Am I meant to, like, jump on them and launch them that way? No, they move way too fast. There's no way I'm jumping on that while it's moving. I don't think. The owl's my best shot for trying to do nonsense like that. No, there's no way. That just doesn't work. Yeah, these lampposts are too high. Well, where there's a will, there's a way to do things stupidly, though. So... Let's go! Gold dust. Why is Discord going crazy now? Why? Oh? Ah, okay. Fetch that later. Yeah, see, there was just plenty of territory for me to cover just going this way. I just didn't go that way because we were getting ready to wrap up last time, I think. So I decided to go fetch specific things. Oh, this is where the ice keys are used. You know, that makes nothing but sense. Potion from myself. This is a reset button. Oop. That has to go out to there. Do what beyond that is a good question. Also, enable sparks, you silly man. One of these doors is going to be the ice puzzle key, presumably, as well. And secret recipe. And obviously the owl is breaking the puzzles a bit. Slip, glide, ride. Whee! I didn't mean to make a separate save, but it's fine. Whee! Huh. Consumes red door key. Well, it's the only red door I've seen, so why not? Oh, there's multiple red doors in here. Okay. Okay, that one pursued me. Ice bats. Face thy requiem. You don't have AoE anymore. So just slice him in particular, I guess. You do have an AoE, don't you? Yeah, you have Blade Song. That also is a non-turn ending move, which is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, 2 are down to pink health. Right, I didn't restore your mana. That's a problem, because now you don't have... Oh no, you have multi-target fire. That'll do. That should hurt them a solid bit. Yeah, hurt one and killed another. Requiem finishes off another one, and we should be able to just take care of this last bat just fine. And then we'll actually properly heal, because I didn't even pay attention to the fact that I didn't heal at the end of last time, because I'm silly. Colony Seed. Neat. We never did check on the Fancy Seed at any point either. Just realized that. And we're in an awkward spot to go checking on things like that right now, so we're not going to. At the minute. Son of a bitch. Gotta jump quick on that one. This one seems like it's designed for the owl, because there's no way you're making a long jump like that without the owl. I do wonder how much of this I'm just breaking completely by having gliding. But considering it's called Slip Slide Glide, one has to assume that the gliding is involved. Purposely. Whee! Whee! Okay. Got a decision to make. Do I... Actually, no, I physically can't go that way. That path's too high, so I have to go this way. A wake ring from myself. Okay. I could use a ring like that at all times, honestly. Okay, we made the jump. Huh. Was expecting bats. Wasn't expecting this. This is new. Don't really know what to do with it. Well, actually, I know exactly what to do with it. It's called Kill It. Kill it like the rest. Okay. Just making sure I had properly switched the capture and everything. Just had a moment of doubt. It's doing a non-labeled attack. Like, I don't know if it's a physical or a magical attack. It may just be a debuff. Oh yeah, it's doing Spore. Nap time. Okay, it's got a lot of hit points. For it to have survived that and still have hit points left, it's got a lot of hit points. Not that much, though. Ah, I see. Does a bunch of damage to sleeping targets. You know what? That tracks. There it goes. It's dead. And hey, Charlotte, how's it going? Just out here fighting hardships. Oh, there we go. I can get up there. Don't notice I exist. Wait. Okay, I cannot make that jump, though. Which means I need to get rid of this. Okay, it's hardship again. I was worried that this was like a unique enemy. Turns out he's just kind of here. He's just vibing. He just exists. Do Voracity first so I actually get the extra debuff stacks this time. Armor down. Hit him with Thunder. Rachel goes to sleep again. Rachel just likes sleeping. And honestly, I can understand that. Now that'll be a kill shot anyway, so to go ahead and just do that. Except the numbers are a lie again. just as easily ended either way. Okay, yeah, from the block you can get there, but how do you follow that up? Huh. Actually, no, I think I know exactly what I need to do, and it's stupid, but it'll work. I don't know if it's what they expect me to do, but it's what I'm gonna do. You know, business as usual, basically. Do what I do best. Shenanigans. That means we can't armor down you, but it's okay. This should lead to more total damage, I think. Considering it's already under 2,000 because of that. But Cornelius got put to sleep this time, which is going to slow down killing it a lot. Even worse when you end up just low enough on mana that you can't just obliterate him. Thankfully, Cornelius woke up, though, so it'll be okay. Missed the opening for coup de grace, though, so have to improvise. Yay, yay, I got a winter mitten. Now I gotta climb back up, though. Son of a bitch. And now I'm gonna not make this, huh? That's what we're doing now? Not making jumps? Context statement, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, I did get the prep for Final Fantasy done, so we'll be ready for that on Monday. While we're on a similar enough topic. There we go. Ah, except my finger twitched. Well, good news. We get to try again. It's such a precise jump. Because the problem is, for those wondering, I have to let go of B after I jump, and then grab B again after I press A in like the frame after I switch, so as to not miss that at flight. Like, we're hitting speedrun level nonsense at this point. I did the thing again. Thankfully, I recovered better this time. Because what I think I need to do is do another Ibex jump up here. Except I need to be faster than that. So, you know what? We're not going to worry about this anymore. I'm over it. We can warp back here whenever we need to. We have other checks to get in this vicinity. Okay, I can't jump high enough to get on that, so there's probably nothing above it. Okay, seems like those flames are stationary, so that's interesting. Oh, you are going to be directly in the way. What if I didn't have to deal with you? What if I didn't go the way you're standing? What if I said to hell with you and your game mechanics? There is an item behind him, though. Huh. I see. And there's a lamp specifically in the way of me doing what I'm thinking about doing, too. So I can trace the path with my eyes. I jump up to the height where that lamp is, start to fly to the right, slam into the lamp, fall on the monster. Because the Ibex doesn't get me enough height to get above that lamp. See? We end up at exactly the same height, so that just doesn't work. We're gonna have to let that go until we go all the way around. They put anti-cheese in some places, just not all places. I don't know why that block is there. The one that's gonna... Oh! Oh, I see. I see what you want from me, video game. This is silly. You ride this down, and then go down here. Go lamppost to lamppost, and then climb up the gap here to get this chest. Oh, we got a class out of that. Let's go. Oh, and there's a wall here, so I can't be silly and get out that way either. That check was called Nickelodeon Slime Time. Incredible. The Aegis class, though, sounds like something we do want. That sounds like a new class for Rachel. Cover, entrench, natural tank. Ooh, small amount of threat generated for each enemy. Defense time plus 100%. Ooh, resistance 100%. Recover HP on stance change. Once per battle, survive a killing blow. New debuff of moves. Magic wall. Power wall. Crystal form. Removes all debuffs. Current and total generated threat is increased by 100%. Defense becomes 9999 and resistance becomes 9999. Turn is skipped. So you skip 2 turns and have infinite defense. So you just gotta hope that you have enough threat by the time you activate that to keep the enemies on you with that. Otherwise, you're wasting turns. That does seem like the right class to give Rachel at this stage of the game, though. Ah, son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to go back around, aren't I? Because there's no way I can land on that lamp again. Well, thankfully it's not a long trip back. It's literally right here. Yeah, they can't always let us have the cheese, to be fair. They've let me get away with a lot. So it's fair that I don't always get to do the silly thing. Son of a bitch. Ah, it's so long a jump. But it's high enough that I need to do the full charge. There we go. I have been allowed a fair amount. Like doing this. What was this? Just a fucking bottle of milk. God damn it. Wasn't worth it. Son of a bitch. Look, it's not my fault this game has a lot of milk. I did not choose for this to be the thing that happens. I think this might be a physically impossible jump for us right now. I have to assume there's a mount that lets us jump even higher. Because there's no way I can charge fast enough. Like, my best shot is switching like that, and even then it doesn't work. Because for those wondering, I can't charge in midair. Otherwise, I would just charge on the way down and then bounce. So, this position is not possible. So I hit my head on the ceiling, so I can't, like, skip the one in front of me either. I have to use that platform, I think. Yeah, because even if I skip that platform, I don't get enough height. Like, unless it's literally a frame-perfect goat jump, which it could be. Like, that could easily be the case. It's just, like, you have to time your charge the second you touch the platform. Yeah, I think we're done with that idea. We'll come back to that later. Climb up and fall down is probably the one. No, past the mean Ibex jump, so based on that phrasing, I think that is actually meant to be just a really nasty jump then. We might come back to that in the future when I'm just feeling more confident. Right now, I'm not feeling confident in that jump. So we'll go away from that for now, since we have a lot of other places we can look. No sense wasting our time fighting with one singular spot for an hour. I hit my head on the ceiling, but it doesn't matter. The Ibex lets me through here. It looks like that just took me back. Get a load of this thing. Like, they were told to make an ice sculpture, and they fucking went for it. It could have just been a nice, simple ice sculpture. Instead, it's this fucking thing. Ow. You know what? I deserved that for what I said. Oh, you lived that, huh? That's a problem. There it goes. Does 3 points get Tau anything? I didn't even check. It does. It gets him Blackout. He just has Star Flare left, and then he's done with Cleric. Which is a problem, because I'm yet again running out of things to give these people to do. Hence why most of the party is not learning anything anymore. Why are some parts of this cave just, like, completely silent? Kinda weird. Anyway, I guess we're leaving that bit for the moment. Ice Elementals. For those wondering why they didn't attack me on my way in, I forgot to turn counters on until after them, I think. Either that or I just happened to zip past them. I've already forgotten what happened on the way in. I've just been kind of going. Yeah, Ison makes sense for you guys to have. Oh yeah, we were gonna make a Leia Nomad as well, and just completely blanked on that idea. So next time we're near a save point, we'll fix that. We'll make Rachel an Aegis, and then a Leia Nomad. That way both of them will be learning something new. Volatile Heights again, back into the Northern Cave. Use the owl because it's faster. Phoenix Juice. Part of the reason why I'm not just rushing back to a save point to do it immediately, by the by, is in the hopes that I pick up another class somewhere around here. That is a really high jump. I'm not even sure the ceiling will allow for that. Also, not like I was gonna be able to do it with these two clowns right on my tail anyway. The weather really can't make up its mind what it's doing. It poured rain, then it stopped, then it poured rain, then it stopped. Just very confused right now. Maybe the clouds are running out of water. There we go. Okay, yeah, there's a ceiling there. I think this is meant to be an exit, not an entrance. based on how high that jump is, unless we just get another mount that can jump even higher, which is not impossible. I would factor it unlikely, but not impossible. Ooh, there's a shop coming up. I think this might be another shrine. Just gotta get past a really big fence. Which they really think is gonna stop me somehow. When they planted trees near it. I mean, really now. Fences don't mean a thing if you've got a fence next to it. Or trees next to it, rather. Either way. Save point. We got the Triton Shrine. Let's grab what the attendant has first. A whole 1 Phoenix juice. I think that may in fact be the literal worst shop this game has had so far. Considering it had a whole 1 item. Ooh, abilities deal X% more damage or healing, where X is equal to 1.5 the ability's AP cost. That's great considering the spells we're usually throwing, Flare and Thunder, are pretty expensive. I could give you the Burning Blade for the hee-ha-has. I'm thinking I give you the Maplewood? No, because the Maplewood's more for healing. But at the same time, it could be useful for you to have that. Is it both of the things you have in front of you are spirit items anyway? So yeah, take that so you have a usable basic attack. So I can give you Equip Wand and just give you back the wand you've been using as well. Keep your mind up. Yeah, stick with the Storm Rod. So what are your spells based on? You get lots of mind and spirit, so you're probably fine. You, of course, are going to become an Aegis. Automatically cover allies when they're at critical HP. Perfect. Unfortunately, you're losing your samurai moves because I need you to keep your other things, the battle skills now, because I'm using those debuffs too much. Which also does mean, though, that you can give up Equip Katana now and get back to other things. But you don't actually have room for much else. Take Blood Spiller for a moment. Because we do have the Burning Blade, which is pretty good in terms of one-handed swords. Not to mention, now Rachel applies 2 debuffs just on regular attacks. Burning and Bleeding. Which will pair very well with Cornelius. Who sadly still has no new job to take, so he'll just keep on ninjing. And more fucking milk. Okay, yeah, we're in another part of the northern cave now. Which looks like it leads around to where I was trying to get to, so that's a funny. Come on, I'm pretty confident I can make this jump. There we go. Not really sure this accomplished anything, but you know what? I did it. There's another save point over across the way there, so I guess we'll head that way. Go tree to tree. Yeah, it's up there. I kind of figured. Ooh, more shops, though. Ooh, piece of candy. What are you doing? What? Bring you an ice block. Okay, well, the ice block has to get here, then, in order to make it to Hector. Or theoretically. Right? Because it has to get in here. So the only path it could take would be to go from here up. The only way for it to be able to get in that position would be to get here. Which involves it going where? If it goes to the right, it goes in this nook and becomes useless. So its only other move is down. That is not what I was expecting to see right now. Essentially a Wendigo. Oh yeah, all you have right now is Healing Spring. Let's see how much more damage Flare does. Now Thunder does more. Same point either way, though. Armor down you. And it's dead. Another colony seed. Okay, sure. And just kill this one too before it interferes. Oh, they were different enemies. A spit skull and 2 snowbirds. Not for long. I like the skull the least. We're gonna go ahead and do something about that. So apparently it poisons as a counter, which is irritating. Voltena. You no longer have an AoE move, which is mildly an affront to my sanity. Oh, they steal mana. That's upsetting. And you debuff. I hate everything that's happening here. Thankfully, it's dead. And its friends are about to join it. There we go. Just gonna have to restore some mana right quick after that little endeavor. There we go. Now, here's the problem, though. With the block in this position, move A's go this way, which might actually work. Need to get rid of this jerk, too. The Great White Wolf. Who's gonna die just like everybody else. You thought you were safe. Look at that. Isn't that adorable that you thought you were gonna live? Of course, you know, Rachel completely missed, but don't worry about that part. Cold Embrace. Ow! Rude. Very fucking rude. Perish. More learning points for Tau, which don't matter right now. He needs 5, not 2. But at least the field's clear now for me to actually, like, maneuver around and figure this out. Yeah, so if I take this to the right... Does that accomplish anything? No, it just goes right into this nook here, so it becomes useless. So it has to go to the left. That's the only option it has. And from there, its only play is to go down, which takes it into a nook, right? Unless I'm meant to literally go on a world tour. Yeah, we're going on a world tour, I think. Oop. Because it goes here, which then goes here, which goes to the lamppost. Problem with that is it then goes into this corner here, which does let me climb up, so maybe nuts to this guy. Maybe I just leave. I come back for him later. Considering there's a bunch of shops up here, which are infinitely more important than one guy's ice block. Salt bombs for Bomber Drac, end of disable HUD. Those could... You know, we're gonna buy them anyway, fuck it. Give me all of them. Give me all these things. 2 gold hearts. Oh, there's a stage for Bomberman. Knick-knackers. Oh, it's another stealing thing. That makes sense. Multiple dice will target multiple enemies. Ooh, that's actually useful. His lucky dice was pretty strong. West Lookout token, proof of visiting the West Lookout in Poco Poco Desert. That seems important. And Power Vest is not really up to snuff anymore, but it is progressive, so it'll help. See, red coat immediately afterwards. And there's another crystal shard for Kirby. Howdy, Hotto. Okay, fire burns. That makes nothing but sense. You did miss the main segment of me playing anything else at the moment, but we are getting enough stuff for Bomberman that we'll probably be going back at some point. I'm just grabbing other convenient things while I'm here. Whee! Nope. Nope. Wow, it actually outsped me in the air. That's upsetting. Not really. Just trying to find as many items as I can get my hands on around the map. We don't really have to grind, thankfully, because of the way this is set up. Or, if anything, a little too strong right now for most things. Oh, that thing's immune to poison, isn't it? I don't exactly have a choice. They chased me down to try to kill me, so... if it's me or them, it'll be them. I blame the skull as a bad influence that they're hanging out with. Okay, there we go. I was like, was that somehow a Grim Dawn item this far in? Why is this building being guarded by a duck? I don't think that's how that works. I respect the thought, but I don't think that's how that works. Scroll. I don't think I can jump this high. No. We can go this way and go get another chest. We'll go find out what the duck's deal is in a minute. Oh, I see. This is actually a situation where I'm gonna have to use the ice block that's here. No, that renders it dead in the water immediately. Oh. Can I do shenanigans here? Because I think this is enough height that this will work. Oh. Let's go! Oh, that's perfect timing. Hi there, Hex. Thank you for the raid. What were you up to today? Hopefully all we're having a grand time. You're just in time for me to have kind of broken the pathing again a little bit here. Which, for those who have not been here before, you are just in time for me doing more Crystal Project as part of my 5-game blind archipelago that has been going on for the past, like, 5 weeks now. Raids are people bringing their communities over to other streams, basically. Yeah, we're just running around Crystal Project trying to find as many items as I can to finish getting Bomberman Hero to be able to finish its game by getting to the final boss. Kirby 64 to finish the same way. And Spyro 3, same concept basically. I need to get more stages for that so I can actually reach the Sorceress and finish that run as well. But of course, there's Hex, and anybody that came in with Hex, if any of y'all need to raid and run to take care of yourselves, please do so, because taking care of yourselves should always be your first priority. But I do appreciate y'all coming on over. Stop stealing my mana, I need that. I cannot kill you effectively without it. Nice, nice, enjoy. Thank you again. I will do my best to take good care of your community. Let's see what's out this way. Spikes. Lots and lots of spikes. Usually that is just like a broccoli cheese casserole is the way I am familiar with seeing just broccoli and cheese be used. But I do not know for certain. And on that one. Oh, There's an item here. We found a squirrel. There's an NPC looking for squirrels, so I think that might actually be enough for that NPC. Not sure. There we go. Item over this way, but it's up on top of that wall. Not intentionally, they're just kind of around. Look, if the choice is take the squirrel with me or leave it in the box, I may as well take it with me. It's probably better off that way. Chemist's hut. Which seems completely useless. Which is very suspicious. There's also a pool of death tar in there, so that's good. Relocating it is more accurate. Yep, another summoner spot. I am bringing it to a nice home that will, I'm going to assume, adopt it, and we're just going to go with that logic. Look, I never asked what the guy was going to do with the squirrels when I brought him the squirrels. I just agreed to bring him squirrels. I have no idea if what I'm doing is going to get me where I'm going, but we're going this way because I can. Oh, that doesn't seem good. Huh. You know, looking at that, Winged Rancher is not the name I would have expected. I also didn't restore my mana, which is a problem. There's a few of those around here. Just keep striking it with lightning until it stops moving. Great, it has a blind move. That's exactly what I didn't want to see. That's gonna render my melee characters useless. I don't have any attacks that don't miss on you at all. So your turn is useless. There's a 0% chance to hit. If they can't hit, they can't do damage. And if they can't do damage, they don't accomplish anything. You go ahead and draw aggro, because at least that's something you can do right now. Yeah, because if he can't hit, he can't even... They blinded everybody. That's what that big, like, darkness effect they just did was. Yep, I see why this was an orange encounter for me. This might be a little out of my depth right now. If I could actually hit it, we'd be dead right now, but unfortunately, everybody that could do reviving is dead now. So we might be getting sent back a bit here. Unless Cornelius can turn this around, which he could do. He's got a very good dodge chance. Never mind. Anyway, that just puts me back over here. This game loves waiting till I say something and slapping me for it. It's like, you fucking thought? How about no? This is more our speed. It would have helped if I had had full magic on my other caster. Just gonna mute that, ignore that. Oh, I'm gonna swear all I want. It's my channel. That's part of why this is labeled with 18 plus. That's just how it works. Yeah. That is why the About section labels with that. That's why it should be prompting a mature content warning when people click on it, but Twitch is finicky about that actually working properly. It's mostly to keep the average child at bay, because I do not feel like dealing with any of the 13 to 18 that exist on here. Because I do not have the patience to be a babysitter. Yeah. I mean, it really didn't come up as a topic because, you know, you're already older than that anyway. Yeah, and I would have a lot more people I'd be banning daily. Because they'd be irritating. Same reason I just had somebody pinging me on Discord a second ago. Oh, because they were complaining about being banned. See, that's fine. That's acceptable. Even the most mature 16 and such-year-old is likely to end up irritating me, so it's just like, nope. Not to mention, it just causes a lot more unnecessary issues, so it's just like, nope, absolutely not. Denied. Disallowed. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Usually just must be spammy and annoying and don't understand that rules apply to them. Case in point, this fool that had just sent me like 3 messages on Discord asking why they were banned when they know full well I'm the only one who has mod controls on this channel, so if they're banned, it's because I chose to ban them. They don't really need more than that. See, that right there is a perfect example, but at least that's kind of gone beyond it just being a kid thing, and there's at least some entertaining value to that sometimes, as long as people aren't saying it every 5 minutes. And all my melee characters are once again unable to do anything. But we do have a cure for that. The only problem is the only one who could cure that is busy casting Requiem for another turn. Yeah, that's what this thing does. And it killed the other one who could cure that. Great. What am I meant to do here? The answer? Die. I'm clearly not supposed to be fighting this thing right now, but I'm trying anyway. Okay, Tao is gonna get another turn, but that's gonna be another turn of Requiem. You have 2 more turns of Blind. And you can't even apply those debuffs because you can't hit it. And there goes the one who could have cured everybody else being blinded. Yep, that's about par for the course. Just attack so you don't waste any more of your moves. Okay. Cornelius isn't blind anymore, so if Rachel can just hold for 1 turn, we might be able to turn this around. Okay, it was a regular attack. That's great, actually. Because that means Rachel will survive 1 more turn. What do I do to take advantage of that situation? The same pixel art you've seen me show you before. I do a lot of profile pictures and things like that, and animation is available. It's all in the link. That's the main bits. Rancher's almost dead. I might be able to fix this. Except the debuffs wore off, so I couldn't get it with coup de grace. Nope, he didn't dodge. If he dodged that, we would have won. But unfortunately, he didn't manage to dodge. Okay, we're gonna stop going that way because that's clearly out of our reach right now. I need to be just like a little stronger. Mostly if I had a means of just not getting blinded in the first place. Which I could technically just not use Requiem. But he doesn't have that many other good abilities that don't involve waiting 3 turns for him to finish doing it. Power Glove for Bomber Track. We've got an ad coming up here in a minute. And considering it means I waste a lot of turns, no, not particularly. Okay, that leads back to where we were in this cave before, so there's no other reason to be here. Okay, fine, I guess I'll actually do this the way I'm supposed to. There we go. Yeah, we'll be stopping for the ads here in a moment. That's fair. It does let you avoid work. Just get up on top of this tree and then I'll go away for the ads so people don't miss anything. There we go. Back in a moment, y'all. And meanwhile, I'll deal with the irritant. So how'd that work out for you? Also, I'm not even using the keyboard anyway, so it wouldn't help you much. Everything I'm doing today, I'm using a controller for. And welcome back from the ads, everybody. As you can see, you didn't miss anything. I didn't go anywhere. I just, as I said, walked away. Eh. Technically, a controller can type if I really, really want to. It would be a nuisance, but, you know. Just means I think a lot more about what I'm saying. Okay, this is the other side of that slip, slide, glide area we were in before. Oh, that brings you up. Okay. Huh. This seems not how the laws of physics work. Can I replicate that? Hang on. Can I do that again? Hang on. I've got something here potentially. What? How did that even work? No, the mushroom things like that always come back. That's not a problem. But I see why it's saying that those two checks on the map there are out of logic, because I can't get back from here. Okay, fine. We'll go back up this way. Whoop. Also, I can just warp to these points here anyway at any time, so I would have just been able to teleport right back up here. Complete non-issue. Aha! Secret room. Progressive beating staff. Interesting. Ah, the iron rod, okay. People will tend to lurk on these, and that's fine. They just hang out and listen. It's also generally considered rude to be bringing that up. I know you don't know, so I'm gonna give you a pass on that one, but just bear that in mind. Well, we knew that already. You knew what you were getting when you said that. There we go. Another encounter gone. Doesn't seem like there's much of anything out this way, but I'm gonna look anyway. Yeah, it's the edge of this area, so it's completely pointless to have flown over there. There is an item back in the middle here, though. Oh, right, no, it's that guy who wants an ice block. Don't know if I care. Gonna be honest. Like, at some point, I'll deal with that, because the item he gives might actually be important, but I don't feel like dealing with it right now. Some manner of Wendigo, I would assume. Exactly, Charlotte. Sometimes items just aren't worth bothering with. Do I know whether that one is or not? No idea. It does look a little bit like Fiddlesticks. Not quite Scarecrow enough, though. Unless his design's radically changed over the years, which, you know, I'd believe that. Considering the things they've done at this point. I used to very, very long ago. Definitely don't have the patience for that anymore. That's been, God, like 10 years? Something like that. My League of Legends arc was honestly rather short. And it was only because somebody I knew really loved the game, so I was like, fine, I'll play, at least for a little while, and try it. And I had very little patience for it even then, but it's like, well, I'll try. Ended up enjoying Heroes of the Storm more, as far as that genre goes, but even that was only for so long. Yeah, that's fair. Bots are a lot less irritating. There we go. Situational. You can't keep setting yourself up for these things and then get mad at me when I say them. That's not how this works. Oh, the castle again. We never did really look around the ramparts too much. Apparently some of it's in logic now. I mean, that's true. Well, technically I can. I could just ban you, but why would I? You haven't broken any rules. That doesn't mean do it, because that does mean you will be immediately banned if you do break a rule. There are no exceptions to that. Because quite literally, I would ban myself if I broke a rule. Even though you can't ban yourself in your own channel, I would find a way. Wrong button. Almost. This game really likes its flying eyeballs. There aren't many, just don't make too much of a pain in the ass to yourself and no hate speech, basically, and you're more or less fine. Those are the important ones. There's the rest of them mentioning, like, hey, don't be underage or any of that, which we've already talked about. Oh, this thing has death sentence. Well, that's upsetting. On the bright side, being on a timer for this fight is fine. We all know that there's limits to that. There's being a mild nuisance, and then there's being enough of a nuisance that I bother to take the time to push the button. Ooh, MP healing off this hat. It's a real shame that it's medium armor, which none of my characters that really use their MP much use medium armor. You've been better behaved than most as far as that line goes, Charlotte. You might think you're towing that line, but you have not actually gotten anywhere near that line yet. So bear that keyword in mind. Now, there is a reason why I say there's no exceptions to that. That's true. When you want to be. There we go. Go ahead and clean up all your learning points. That's true. Everyone is well behaved when they choose to be. Because it is a choice. Okay, entrench. Considering that's each current status, that could end up moving debuffs up as well, which could be an issue. We'll have to keep that in mind when I use that. You're still 1 point short of learning anything of merit. Now back to trying to make this jump. Which I probably am not supposed to even be making this way, and it might not even be possible to make this way. But I'm trying regardless. Nah, I don't think that's happening. That's very close, but I don't think that's supposed to be doable. Even by the standards of breaking the game. And that lamp's out of reach. Now, I have a question about this. These are called infantry. Aren't infantry supposed to walk around, not float around as just swords? I feel like there's a missing step here. I mean, I won't disagree with that. But I'm just confused. There seems to be an important piece of being infantry missing. Now, I suppose you could have mechanical infantry, so why would enchanted items be any different? And I suppose it also won't matter when they're destroyed, what they're called. Yep, now the auto cover kicks in, which is great. That depends on which one you're asking about, because there's been a lot that's happened. If you're talking to the... Oh, that was one of the higher end electricity spells. That was Boltena, which is the strongest AoE wizards get for lightning in this game. Yeah. His wizards only get lightning or fire in this, so gotta make do with what we got. Hi. Don't know why you're just kind of hanging out on this wall and attacking people, but I guess we're doing this. Look, not every game lets wizards actually get what they should have. Okay, you hit really hard. That's upsetting. Gonna make you stop doing that. Go ahead and armor boost first. Ow. Ow. Rude. Well, it's rather inconvenient when they do, because that means everybody starts dying like they've done now. Yeah, I kind of figured he was going to do the AoE again. We're going to have to end this quick. Otherwise, we are in trouble here. There we go. Pay no mind to the thousands of damage he just took there. Everything's fine. Oh, neat. We got his katana as well. Real shame I just stopped using katanas just a few minutes ago. But, you know. He's got his little cherry blossom tree here just for him. Dang it. Ah, well. That doesn't look like that goes anywhere anyway. Whee! Okay, that doesn't go high enough. So that doesn't quite work. Do it the old-fashioned way, then. One jump at a time. Get this. Attack bomb for Bomberman, which does not matter in our current setup, but, you know, we got it at least. We'll just hop tower to tower. Touch the save point so I can warp back here or at any time. Not to mention, we'll respawn here when we inevitably die again. Speaking of, bringing everybody that's dead back to life, because those checkpoints don't heal you because reasons. So with how many of them there are, I suppose it would be a little too nice if that worked. Full cave for Bomberman. At one point I have. And part of that was because we had a specific group thing going on for it. But other than that, it really doesn't tend to happen. there are so many thousands of people who play Minecraft on stream, I really don't see a reason to do it myself. It is such a flooded market. It is insane. Like, if it isn't the most played game on Twitch, it's up there. Some of them. They do tend to happen. There we go. Rachel died to death sentence. That's gonna be annoying. Like, we were playing Far Far West the other day. And we're likely to end up doing Deep Rock Rogue Core when I can eventually get my hands on it. There we go. Jiggling Lure, so that'll be another one of the fishing areas opened up. Do a bit of fancy footwork to get up here. Now that we touched that, let's go back to the other one. Yeah, and I've been incredibly disappointed with it, personally. That is another one that is kind of impenetrable to get into for most people anymore, because the people that play it have been playing it for too damn long. That too. The community, and just like I said, there is enough of a difference between somebody starting out in that game and the people who have lived that game since it came out, that it just ain't worth it to me to try to get in there. That is just misery. And honestly, I just ain't a competitive person at this point. I left my competitive era behind alongside that League of Legends era, more or less. I don't know where the demon flew away to, but it's fine that it's gone. Oh, there it is. I see it on the map. Go away. Do not want. Nope. Nope. Do not want. I gotta be quick about this. Okay, I'll fight the other thing. Fighting the other thing's fine. But I'm gonna need to be quick after this fight ends, because you do get a reprieve from enemies attacking you after you defeat an encounter. I don't know if bosses count, though. This is the first time I've had a boss enemy near me when I fought something else, so this could end up being a problem. Also, Cornelius is about to drop dead. And if we don't get the kill, like, right now. That goddamn death sentence. It's the only reason anybody's even dying in these fights. Not something I hear often, but thank you. Oh, gotta get away from the demon. Oh, never mind. Didn't even get a chance to revive Cornelius, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip a turn and watch as everyone dies again. There we go. That went quickly, at least. Let's see. So we picked up Cleric's Hood. That doesn't matter. Blood Hat's better because it gives us lifesteal, and we need that for our casters so they stay alive. So speaking of that, not that we've seen, but there are, you know, 6 more jobs to find. You never know. Speaking of, what am I gonna do with you, Tao? Now that you're done with Cleric, what am I gonna have you do? Could have you go back to Dervish. Eatsmith abilities have been very useful, but also been getting him in trouble now and then because it gets us stuck as far as our turn order goes. I could put him back on Weaver to give him the free multi-target at the start of every fight. Yeah, you know, we'll go with that for the time being. Give you your Weaver stuff and your white magic so you can keep healing. Nope, that doesn't sound familiar at all, but I've also not really dealt with a lot of those .io games anymore. Ah, nice. I don't know about this whole minus 40 accuracy and then gaining accuracy per turn. I'm assuming it's a free thing since it's a .io game, so maybe at some point I'll look at it. Let's see, 2 points gets you what? An water or an ice or attack focus. Since that's only for basic attacks, I'm not going to worry about that yet. Physical attacks use resistance instead of defense, or crit damage and crit chance are calculated from total mind and spirit instead of dexterity. I feel like this is better because I feel like things are going to be more likely to have lower defense that have things that have those statistics. I don't know how much that'll actually see any use anyway, but it might work. Good to know. Go ahead and grab resist boost, and we'll have to wait for more levels to do anything else there. Now, our reward over here is a blue cape. That might actually be something. No. It is, in fact, something blue. Oh, there's a ninja. I'm assuming he's gonna attack me like the other one did, since he's not marked as a check. Oh, and we don't have the rampart key to get in there. I mean, I may as well deal with this guy, right? We got full health and everything, and we just saved. Yeah, I kind of figured this was gonna be another fight. Okay, since you've got the everybody gets affected by your first move, go ahead and haste the whole party. He's gonna make himself have a good dodge rate, which is fine. When we attack twice, 50%'s not that bad. And you know what he can't dodge? Lightning. Let's see. Go ahead and hit him with a power break if you can land this hit. Nope. That's fine. And unfortunately, so can he, and that's the problem. Go ahead and heal everybody. If this lands, I think this is a kill. We'll see. No, not quite. He actually has more health left than I thought. And he killed Cornelius instead. Well, isn't that just annoying? Well, we can fix that easily, at least. Try again for the power break. Landed it this time so he won't hit as hard. Which is the only reason Alea survived that. Let's see. No, just hit him with another thunder. Was debating a different move there, but I think it's better to just obliterate him. There we go. Ninja or not, he is still only mortal. Ooh. That's incredible news. Is what this means is Cornelius can counter now. It's our strongest single target as long as they're not weaker to fire. If they're weaker to fire, flare stronger. Kind of goes back and forth on that one. Which one of these do I want to replace? Do I want to lose the agility per turn? Actually, yeah, because this is per turn, whereas this is guaranteed always dexterity. So yeah, we'll replace that one. Now he has a strong counterattack, which will counter with both of his weapons, as we learned from what that ninja was just doing to us. Not to mention gaining a solid 90 extra attack. Whee! Flying through the sky to wherever I happen to land. Whee! Okay, this is leading a whole lot of nowhere as it turns out, but you know, it was fun to try. The good news is we can just warp back to the ramparts and go flying off in other directions. Yeah, probably not on that one. Ace of Summoner's Lookout. No, actually, hang on. I have an idea. It's a silly idea, but it might just work. Do I have enough height? The answer is technically yes, but no. No, that plan does not work. I forgot how high up the Chalice of Tar was. So we're just gonna give up on that plan for the moment. The idea was if I was high enough up, I could just fly straight to that checkpoint instead of having to go through the thing that was killing me. But unfortunately, that ain't gonna work. We've already done Kintar Sanctum, so we don't need to go back in there. There's Tar up there in the Chalice of Tar, presumably, yeah. Haven't managed to get in yet, so I'm not sure. Some parts of the ice cave had tar in it, too. You fall in it and die. Still that chest over here, apparently, that I didn't open. I mean, it's technically realistic. You don't exactly do great in a pool of tar. Admittedly, you would mostly just get stuck, but if you don't get out of it eventually, you know, you will starve. We still have a lot of things to do over in Shodu. We still need to go see what this reserve shop over here is about, too. In fact, I have an idea. Well, that is part of the idea of getting out, usually, is how that works. We don't have 10 parts still. Okay, I forgot that this isn't as high up. I thought the elevator was higher off the ground. That's okay, we can just go this way. No, we can't. That's way higher up than I thought. Okay, we'll go the other angle then. Yeah, you know, I'll agree to that. Now, nobody ever said how different, but you know, we don't need to worry about that part. Oh, I don't continue flying when I bounce. I have to reactivate flight. Understood. The world may never know what I mean by that. This is more fun to make you think about it. Because it may in fact mean nothing. It may mean something. But where would be the fun in giving away the answer? Okay, yeah, that's not happening from there. I'm pretty sure I tried that before. Kintar's tragedy. Due to their incompetent jump, Kintar must find an alternate route around. Yeah, that's correct. We had to find an alternate route around all that time ago when all we had was a Kintar. Actually, I'm being a fool. I can just get over here like this. Which we've already been over here anyway. And I just need to find a ledge that lets me get higher. We've looped back around where I was before, so I think there's either a whole long path up here that I need to take to get to that item, or there's another mount I get to be able to get up there. Or for that one in particular. So we're just going to disregard that for the moment. Yeah, that one's up on that ledge too, so that's not happening. That item's underneath. Aha, I can get up here now, though. And get whatever this is at the top of the building. Crystal Shard for Kirby. That might actually be good. Is if it's Crystal Shards that were keeping Kirby from getting their last stage, that would be the answer. Kintar Mausoleum, here lie the Kintar Brethren of ye old times. Egg. Oh, there we go. Mad Coaster for Bomber or Drax, so that's another stage for Bomberman. Not the cringe, oh no. Okay, so that's another shop cleaned up. I suppose I should actually go down to the jungle. Because we have a check we know we need down there. We actually are supposed to be getting checks here now. Still not entirely sure why these were out of logic before and just suddenly are in logic now. Some of them make sense, because like this whole bit up here you'd have to fly to. Actually no, this is where we warp to with the gem. It's higher above here that you'd need to do more to get to. Which I still seem to not be able to reach. So speaking of cringe, that's cringe. However, nope, can't reach that from there. But I see another way. When in doubt, there's many ways to accomplish the same thing. We've apparently been up here before, but have a plan. I don't know if it's a good plan, but I have a plan. I try to avoid it, honestly. But it's kind of an unavoidable thing. Okay, that doesn't work. Just being cringe is being cringe. It's not fun. Those who are cringe may be free, but I am free to not be cringe. If only it were that easy, eh? Crab. I mean, you got options for what that would be referencing. Could be Metal Gear Rising, could be like 7 other things. You got options. Bronze helmet. I know many things. I don't act on a good, like, third of the information I have in my brain, because I can't call it up on cue, but, you know, it's there. It exists. I guess when you dodge, you don't counter? Because Cornelius should have countered that. Huh. Today I learned. This seems like overkill, potentially. No, it actually isn't. I mean, in the unlikely event of him getting hit, he'll counter, so there's that at least, I guess. But it is definitely inconvenient that he can't dodge and counter. Considering, you know, that's usually the ninja thing, is avoid getting hit and then hit the guy that tried to hit you. Till I get tired, which hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. We're about, almost 4 hours in. I anticipate probably a minimum of 2 more hours. Understandable there, Hato. It was good to have you along for as long as you were here. Worst case, the VOD will be there if you want to see what you end up missing. And it'll also go on YouTube the day after. You got options. No, you should sleep if you're tired. It's the same thing I always advise of people actually taking care of themselves. Yep, bye. Good night. Meanwhile, I will fly an owl around the jungle. That is true, the clip command does exist. Assuming anything funny actually happens. There we go, there's boss room 6 for Bomberman. So that is in theory go mode for Bomberman, though I would like to get more health for Bomberman if I can before I try to do the boss rush. That is true, so Charlotte has more work to do. Because for those that don't know, Charlotte has been kind enough to help me out by editing shorts to make them actually work a little bit better on YouTube. So if you've enjoyed the shorts, be sure to give Charlotte plenty of credit on that. Okay, no, it is inside the building, so this building can be accessed somehow. It's not like you want work to do. Man. Aha, there we go. And I found nuts. God damn it. Somebody was storing nuts just in a derelict building. I guess you gotta put them somewhere, but, like, why there? Not like anybody's gonna remember that that's there. Generally not. I typically keep things where I can get to them. A derelict building out in the middle of the jungle is not really my high priority place to put things. Sometimes people I don't like, but that's a whole different story. See, I don't have any, so I don't store them. I don't actually eat them, so why would I store them? Charlotte, please. This is not how we farm clips here, no. No, 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 no. Why is... It's just a... Huh. I guess that's natural. I guess a pool of water forming up there is actually... fair and reasonable. You know, if I uploaded a clip with those tags, I feel like people would be very confused, notice I'm a VTuber, and then stop questioning anything. Sky armor. Neat. Why is all of this stuff just in the jungle out here? That's fair. I mean, it's the same reason I have a bunch of tags under the stream that not all of them make any sense. Oh. Did anybody else just see that tree branch at the top of the screen? You know, that one that just blocked the whole screen? I think that might be where those other items are. Just possibly, perchance. That's really high up there, too. Ain't getting to that anytime soon. Not until I figure out how to get to the canopy of this jungle. Which may very well be where a bunch of these items are. And the game expects me to be able to get there. So, clearly that's somehow doable? Question mark? While I'm just kind of hopping along here, I may as well remind y'all about that sub goal you see on screen in sometimes, as it's rotating through the weird carousel thing Twitch added. If we hit 25 subs before the end of the month, I will do an art giveaway here, which will be one free commission of any particular type, as long as it's one that I do, for obvious reasons, and one giveaway on Blue Sky. If we hit at 950 followers before the end of the month as well, there will be I will double the goal's rewards. So, basically, if you hit both, you will get 2 giveaways here and 2 giveaways on Blue Sky. But if you only hit the follow goal, well, we'll discuss whether you get the reward or not. Because the follow goal is meant to be a bonus, not necessarily the goal in and of its own right. But it would still be worth celebrating. So, I'll think about it. Protect Amulet. That might actually be useful. Our accessories are kind of lacking. Never mind. That's just armor up for 2 turns. That is not worth it. That is what's commonly referred to as belongs in the garbage bin. Like, 3 or 4 weeks ago that might have been worth me having, but at this point, terrible. How do I get up? Looks like I just do like a whole circuit through all of this. Which, admittedly, some of the nonsensical jumps I've done might have been clip-worthy. All of that's for a small key, huh? Well, small keys are worth it, I suppose. We don't have very many of them. I just haven't encountered many places to use them, either. Almost able to get this random rock in this random pool here. Who knows what it's gonna be? Oh, we found a summon in a rock. Okay. You know what? Sure, why not? That actually makes more sense than half the other things that have happened. We might get to the canopy from here? Or just going really high up and making me very nervous. One of the two. You would think as a creature that can fly, I wouldn't be particularly concerned about heights, and yet here we are. I hate it up here even more. There's giant bugs up here. I also did not restore Alea's mana, which just makes things even worse. There we go. Let's see. What am I gonna do about this problem since I can't just nuke it from orbit? Answer, stab it to death. The amount of damage that didn't do is what's commonly referred to as a problem. Ow. We've seen Brutal Venom before, and it's really bad because you may notice that there's no turn timer on any of those debuffs that were just put on Rachel. So she is going to be taking poison, bleed, and burn damage every turn until this combat ends, or I cure it. Those are the only options. Now, I could mend it away. And I suppose I should. I was debating healing instead, but I think mending might be a better idea, because Rachel can just regenerate it through damage. So it'll be mostly okay. Keyword mostly. One down. That's the problem, though, is A, the death, and B, the immediate reapplying of it. Kind of figured that was going to be a thing that was going to happen. We might die to these giant bugs, just as a note. All because I didn't come up here with mana for my main attack caster. Because we're holding, but it's not great. Yep, Cornelius is dead. Oh, they have a kamikaze move as well. Don't you love that? You have no mana, and I must scream. Yep, his Tau is dead now, and Alea is not long behind. This is terrible. Literally, if she had mana, we would have won that fight. Ah, damn it. Oh yeah, we hadn't touched a checkpoint in a while either. Because remember, warping to a checkpoint is not the same as touching it to activate it. Any other checks I can grab? Oh yeah. We can turn in the ferry pass. Yes, I think. At least I'm assuming that's what that check is referring to. Yep, and it just gave me a damn tonic, so that was useless. But hey, we checked it. It was important to make sure that that was checked. You sure did. There's just a bunch of stuff right down there, and I can't swim to get it. Anybody got a crane? If we had a crane, we could get that easy. We're at full health. We're fine. We don't have the room 1 key, so we can't get in there to get that. So apparently that's in logic? Oh no, that's above. Okay. And apparently the room 1 key itself is a check. So I have no idea where it's pointing me to with that idea. Considering the guy at the desk only has the standard in prompts. He doesn't have like a, hey, do you want to buy a room? Unless maybe I got the key from resting at that inn? I guess we could try that. Oh yeah, you do actually buy the key, okay. Which might be a random item, actually. Yep, it's an artisan staff instead. Don't ask how we slept when we can't get in our room. It's fine. Oh, I apparently found the kid. Well, we're just not gonna worry about what those two are talking about. and what her husband and her may have been getting up to. We're just gonna leave that alone. But what people do behind closed doors is their business. I don't think I ever went up here, did I? No, I did. I can see it having been mapped out. I think I just did this a different way than climbing up like that. Can get over here and see if this does anything for us. Hey, hup. God damn it. I said, hey, hup. There we go. I just needed to say it with more gusto. Just a tonic. Grabbed that already. Now that we have the owl, though, we can more readily get over here. Ibeck, I think, can hop me up here, which I didn't do before because I think I didn't notice that slightly lower part. Not really sure why I'm up here, but I'm up here. That very well may be another case of because I could. There's this, like, grotto right in here, though. Don't know why it exists, because there's no checks listed there, though. Which is mildly strange. Also, if it seems like the area is, like, mildly wiggling, that's because it is. Before anybody adjusts their set or anything, like, no. No, it is just mildly wobbling. His desert. What, you are mildly wiggling, Charlotte? Drifter's vest. That was worth flying down here for, I suppose. As you should. Okay, so that was the only check over here that isn't out in the ocean. There are these beach checks and such still to get. The labyrinth encampment. Now I gotta get back up there. Back up we go. It's convenient that both sides of this place are identical in this regard. As far as being able to climb up here goes. Makes it much easier to get back up. Now you might be thinking, well, why don't you just use the Kintarp? It'll go faster when you're not flying. And while you're correct, I can't be bothered to do that and then switch to the owl to be able to fly places. Having to switch between 3 mounts just becomes irritating. 2 is already enough. He also did a lot of work for us, so he gets to rest. Apparently all of that was kind of an irrelevant move, but it's fine. This poor owl bouncing on the cacti in order to get places. Ow, 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 ow. Don't mind me trying to break the laws of physics because it makes me bounce off the cactus. Okay, that ain't gonna work. I wanted to try to get it to, like, launch me somewhere, but it's not gonna play ball with that idea. Let's see about finding our way over to the beach area. I think I have a much easier way to get to, and I'm instead doing it this way because it's not mapped. Because presumably I can just follow the actual beach across. But I have convinced myself that I must climb the mountains. And you know what? I've just as quickly unconvinced myself of that idea. I'm over it and going this way now. As it turns out, this seems like it's infinitely more effective. There we go. Right, the cliff there was why we stopped going this way. We couldn't get across the gap of water or get up here. Because we didn't have Owl when we came through here before. Now with Owl, we can get to the beach. Because, you know, that's how you get to beaches, right? You use owls. Dang it. The ads are coming in and again, though, so we will be pausing here in a second. How do I go anywhere with this idea? Oh, that does work. Okay. Just didn't land it the first time. Oh, I actually got the Dervish seal. Neat. We'll just perch on this lookout here and then wait until the ads end. Which is convenient because it's about time for me to refill my drink again. So, un momento while the ads run, just enjoy the desert ambiance meanwhile. Alright, we'll be back to business here in just a moment. As the ads are ending now. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. As you can see, nothing has happened. We're still just chilling up here in this watchtower. Getting ready to make another leap of faith to see if we can find more stuff. While I was up refilling my drink, I thought about it a bit, and I think we're probably going to wrap in like an hour or two. Like I was, well, yeah, it was mentioned more or less earlier. But every now and then when you get up and move for a moment, what you've been doing catches up to you. Up here seems to not necessarily be useful. Because everything's higher than us or lower than us. Like, I could see the one item all the way at the bottom there. And there's nothing over there, so let's just go scoop this up, I guess. Plate of lion. Okay. Don't know why you'd steal a lion's plate. That seems like a great way to get your arm bit off, but you know what? Maybe it'll be useful. It's not bad. 300 HP is nothing to sneeze at when our highest HP is 1,000. Sky armor is less impressive. It's good defense, but it's not really got anything interesting going on for it. It just has wind protection. Which, if we're fighting specifically a lot of things that do wind damage, that might work. As it stands, I do think I'm going to take the extra 300 HP. Bronze helmet is terrible, and it should feel bad for being a terrible terrible helmet. Right, you've got 2 lifesteal rings on right now. I don't even know if those stack, admittedly. So I do think instead I'm going to give you back your aggro band. The extra attack will help, and the extra threat generation should make a difference. Stance tank or one of the breaks. Let's take stance tank. Don't know when you'll fit it in to use it, but that's okay. Smokescreen could actually be useful for you to have. But wand is useless to you. Passives are where it's kind of neat to actually be able to get those extra points for things that you're not actually in from the other characters, because then you can actually pick up a passive for a class that might actually come in handy for you. Like learning Equip Sword or Equip Axe without having to be a warrior could have actually been kind of handy. Those in particular I don't think matter too much for him, but that's the kind of idea I mean. Like, having delay and such could be worthwhile for controlling my turn order a bit. I don't know if it would actually be particularly useful to us, but it's a thought. Is like controlling who in the party goes first would be important for setting up like combos with buffs and such. Not something that I'm going to that degree of thought for at all at the moment, but it would be a concept if you were doing that kind of thinking. And if you actually, you know, didn't have random classes, so you could actually do that kind of strategic thinking. A 1-up for Bomberman. That'll be handy when we go do the boss gauntlet probably next time. At this point. No, not even much of a probably to it. That is almost guaranteed to happen. Which, the boss gauntlet, if that is what I need to do to get the final fight for Bomberman, means we will probably beat Bomberman next time. Hey, Artisan Spear. That's something. Shame we're back to not having anybody using spears again, but, you know, we take what we can get, right? Right. Gold bedazzling the Tower of Zot. Yeah, I don't think we can get to that. Diamond bedazzling the Tower of Zot. Wait. Tower of Zot goes far, huh? Pulling off in the tent before the Tower of Zot, and then Labyrinth encampment. Okay. Do I think I can get up there? Maybe. I might be the only one seeing the vision right now, but I have an idea. No, this is not actually higher, so no, the idea is dead. That doesn't work. If I can get on that tree, I might be able to get up somewhere, but I think getting on that tree just ain't a thing I'm gonna be able to do. Not without going all the way back up and around the way I did before. Which I don't think is worth it. Just gonna be real with y'all on that one. I don't think that that's gonna help anything. So this is part of why I'm like, yeah, we're probably gonna wrap up in a couple more hours because we're starting to hit that point where the checks are gonna start stalling out more again. In a bit, so it would be a good point to pull back. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, no. There's also no reason for me to be doing that anyway. But you know what? I tried. It was an idea. Nothing there, just water. Okay, we will leave this area and go back to that later, like when I can swim, potentially. There is the whole summit thing over here we might be able to get to. Obviously not from Fish Hatchery. Actually, yeah, we might be able to go down from Tall Tall Heights and get there. Really, I'm just exploiting the fact that I can glide now. Arguably egregiously. But at the same time, if they didn't want me flying around everywhere, they shouldn't have given me an owl. Nope, that didn't help. I have to go back up now because I dropped down too far for that. But that's okay. I think being over here will get me where I'm trying to go. It may not directly get me there, but I think it's the right idea. Appreciate that, Club Fumble. Hope you're doing well. And welcome to the nonsense I get up to on Saturdays, where we're playing a whole big archipelago. All blind games that I've never finished before myself. And if you don't know what an archipelago is, everything's connected together and very little of it makes any sense anymore. Because all the games are passing items around back and forth, basically. But appreciate the support on both of the channels there. This might lead somewhere good? Nah, well, yes, actually. Leads to steps that I can climb up. Now, where's the next step up? Aha! This, I think, might actually be the intended way to at least get to whatever this is. Can I take this and go further, becomes the question. Answer may surprise you in that it's no. Why is there just a random orange flame here? What are you? Oh, it's another Kintar. Okay, we do need those eyes for the one NPC, so this might actually be worthwhile. Keyword to that, unfortunately, being might. Thunder will do 2,000, so that'll work. I don't think this thing's gonna be that strong, though it being orange is a concern. This might hurt. Ow! By might, I mean it does. A lot. so our little adventure over here just got put to a halt immediately. Huh. That's why that's an orange flame. Huh. Well, that's a great inconvenience to my plans. I'll need to remember, there is a awful, nightmarish Kintar over here. Just gonna go ahead and put a skull there to remind myself of that. Oh, I think I actually have enough heads for him now. The Sam wanted digested heads, and we got some of those last time, and I completely forgot about it. As soon as I remembered how to get in his room. Oh yeah, it's over here. Just take the heads. And I got a Z potion pouch. Rip. That was not worth it. But at least it's another check cleaned up. Which reminds me, I should actually check how many checks we've gotten done now for all the games. Bomberman Heroes at 125 out of 200, and Crystal Project just got to 852 out of 1,251. So every game is above 60% now. Because even Spyro's at 68.56. So we're doing well. The archipelago is going to be coming to a close soon. Keyword soon. Let's also drop off the colony seed and find out what the other seed we put in the planter up here actually does. So I think it was a fancy seed we put up here? I don't think I have any more penguins. Oh no, I did find a couple of them. I think I'm only missing one more for the next check for that. I think it was 3 usually. What's this? Some kind of monstrous gourmet onion, I see. Taste up. I'm getting a distinct feeling that these plants are not going to be worth my time. But you know what? We got to find out somehow, right? Oh, good. Thank you for dodging, Cornelius. For those who didn't see the grand fight, Devour is an instant kill. So if that hit, it was gonna be really bad. Now you don't have enough AP for Coup de Grace. Well, it lost most of its debuffs anyway, so I guess it's fine. Go for Veracity instead. Set up larger debuffs since this thing has a lot of health left still. Well, had a lot of health. Until we set it on fire brutally with the powers of Holy Flame and regular Flame. Ooh, Fairy's Crown. Would be better if I didn't already have better things than that. So I'm guessing the plants are all going to just be part of Nan's secret recipe. Go ahead and throw the colony seed there, though, in case I care enough to try that at some point. We still haven't gotten enough to get into the luxury shop, I don't think, since it's still saying it's out of logic, but I'll ask. Right, I need the luxury pass specifically. Tell you what, let me actually get a hint as to where the luxury pass is, because I'm curious now. Because I feel like that's going to be a big swing for us if we get in there. I just got to open a text client, so it takes a second. Because I don't know how to hint within Crystal Project itself. Yes, I mean item luxury pass. Just telling it yes doesn't work. Okay. It's like, yes, that's what I wanted. Could you just do that? But why is it saying V2? That's weird. Right, I'm fumbling my inputs now. Don't mind me. This is why I try not to do these things fast. That's where it would be normally. It's not... Nothing's where it's supposed to be. It's all randomized. It's saying that that item doesn't exist. What? It'd be very funny if my luxury pass just doesn't exist because it didn't randomize properly. Worry about it later. I'll pursue that idea further off stream to figure out why that is an issue. We could upgrade some more stuff to gold. I think. Do I have enough gold anything? No, I don't. I have enough for silver things, but silver stuff's kind of left behind. I've definitely got more than 6 crystals, but again, bear in mind, it won't operate under its normal circumstances. Because the item should be out in the archipelago pool somewhere. I'm able to pass the 6 crystal gate going out to the left, so if the only check for it was 6 crystals, then it should be working. Nah, like I said, I'll worry about it later. It's not a vital thing because we don't have any hints telling us we need to go in there. It just bugs me because there's so many shops in there. But it'll be fine. We have so many things still to do. That's not a priority. Could actually be brave and foolish and go back in the castle. Though we don't... It's not telling me I'm supposed to be doing that yet. I don't think I got any new keys for the jail, but let me check my keys. Yeah, we already were in the South Wing and Dark Wing. We still have cell keys, but the paths we've opened have already used up all the keys they needed. We still have the ice puzzle keys, which were surprisingly not used where we were before. Apparently I have a digested head left over after giving up the heads to the guy. Oh, these books are from the library. These aren't weapon books. Maybe I should pop by the library and see if those are a check then. Though... I don't remember where the library is. Because this game is at least convenient in that it tells you where all the checks are on the map. It's just a lot of map to sift through. Now, I think we just go back to the jungle and worry about details like that later. Because there are so many checks to collect here still. I just need to not die to giant flying death bugs anymore. Speaking of, actually remember to restore your mana this time, you silly man. That might help a lot. I never 100% tell if the goat can reach something. Answer to that is no. Boy. I'm just gonna leave that enemy behind. I debated going down the river, but that enemy's gonna get in my way if I go that way. So we'll go for a wander over this way and see about picking up the items that are on this side. I don't think I have... Actually, I might have a skeleton key. No, I don't have any skeleton keys. So that's SOL till I find a skeleton key anyway, then. And it, like I said, it's probably not even going to actually be there, or because it's all randomized. But that will lead to multiple other checks then, at least, so that is useful. Still strange that the multi-world is saying that the luxury pass that he's literally mentioning he needs, though, doesn't exist. Usually when that says that, there's a problem. Or I already have the item. So usually it'll tell you, hey, you found it here, stupid. Yeah. Which, 5 games worth of checks, it can be very easy to lose track of where something was found or where something is. Which, I could check the sphere tracker to make sure I haven't already picked something like that up, but again, it would prompt me if I had found it already. And if I really get desperate, I could always sift through the spoiler log to make sure that it is in existence somewhere. Whether it actually is acknowledging it with the hint system or not. But again, that would be if we know for a fact we're locked behind it and I cannot get it to tell me where it is. Which right now we have nothing indicating that, so it's fine. Just climb this tree and I should be able to get to that ore spot in here. Or not. Bold of you to assume I'm going to give up that easily, game. Nope, still not high enough. I feel like I tried that before. Probably did. My short-term memory is slipping today, so wouldn't be the first time. And that chest that I'm flying towards now is up in the canopy. So flying back over here was pointless. We need to go all over to the left to climb back up the trees again. Which that's going to take a hot minute to do. And then we just gotta hope we don't get eaten by the giant bugs up there again. Most important thing, don't get eaten by giant bugs. Don't even need to do anything fancy for that. And yeah, there's your list of all the games for anybody that might have missed when I've explained it before. And the basic idea of Archipelago and all that. One of these days I need to make a better explain text for that, but I also don't want it to print out too much information because it then starts flooding the chat too much. So technically I could have it pop up as a whisper, but that's a whole thing. I don't know. Things to think about. Things to possibly never follow through on, but think about anyway. Which, that is a whole other thing, is I need to decide where I stand as far as commands and such go for chat spam. Technically it is spamming the chat, but at the same time, they are useful and arguably necessary, so it's like, well, where do you draw the line? And of course, the line gets drawn differently depending on what you're doing at the time. And for obvious reasons. Like, if we've got shared chat going, the limit is much lower. Or because otherwise, if everybody's chat's doing things like that, the chat rapidly becomes unreadable. Nobody wants that. Well, correction, there are definitely people that want that, but let's not worry about that thought. I'm once again up here, and I'm not sure why I bothered, considering we've been up here before. The amount of things that it ends up being a good idea for me to double check, it was worth it to look. It's almost like I'm just trying to avoid going back up to the giant bug land or something. But I suppose I've got nothing for it but to go back up there. Well, plenty of other things I could potentially do, but we're doing this anyway. Remember to actually give Alea mana this time. The fact that you can't automatically restore that does end up being inconvenient at times, but at least you have a button that does it. You just need to remember to open the menu to do it. You'd be asking for entirely too much if it would just do it automatically, I suppose. So actually, we can get this check if we just go this way instead of going the way we went before. It looks like I can climb back up from here. And it wasn't worth it. That was almost what it was supposed to be. So I'm pretty sure you'd ordinarily get silver ore from those ore spots, and then you'd have to turn them into ingots, probably. Whee! Oh, I took a big risk on the landing there. That could have been real unfortunate. You know what? Oh, right, yeah, you have it be an AoE because of being a Weaver. So yes, actually, Star Flare. Because that's a free 1,000 damage hit to all three of them. It might mean Tau gets absolutely obliterated, but you know what? It's fine. That's the price of doing business. Yeah, Tau is definitely going to die. Oh, no, right. Rachel has cover. We're fine. And they all bleed out. We did it! We didn't die to the giant murder bugs. Just gonna have to, you know, heal a lot, but that's fine. That's what we have the giant pile of resources for. And remember, unless I fall in water, I'm gonna have to climb all the way back up if I fall. Oh, you're here. Should you really be fishing up here? Okay, that's funny that it goes out of the text box. Thanks for the... Oh, she actually gave me a fish. Huh. I think that's the only time she's actually given us a fish instead of some other random thing. What do we got here? Tonic. God damn it. This is what happens when you have a game with too many items in it. Just get so many checks that don't matter. But hey, we got it. That's, at the end of the day, it's still another check on the list. The good news is I think I could have glided back to the mountain if I fell there. It would have been better than nothing, but still. Doesn't help that, you know, even in a game like this, the fear of heights I have does kick in slightly occasionally. Which is absurd to think about, considering there's not even fall damage in this game. But the internal clench happens regardless. Just a little. Scope specs. Those might be useful. So I'm assuming they're primarily for accuracy, and we really haven't been needing that too much. They get enough of that naturally for the most part. Andy. And there's the temple down there, I think. 1 up for Bomberman, which doesn't matter particularly. His game overs are irrelevant. Here comes another big wave of rain. Do I think that it's worth to try to fly to somewhere from here? Because that temple-looking thing's down at ground level, so I don't think I have any reason to worry about dropping down to it right now. Meanwhile, I think following this might actually lead me to the other chests. Yeah, because I go here and then I can follow the paths across. Yeah. This is the correct choice right now. This is the choice that means I don't have to climb back up here more than I have to. More than I absolutely have to, that is. Summoner. All of those summoner places, by the way, are blocked because we still don't have the summoner class, which... I know where the summoner crystal is, but we won't get the summoner from that crystal because randomizer. Damn it. Can I get up this? I can. There we go. Z potion. Well, not bad. That's at least a high quality potion. Trident. Shame nobody's using spears right now. This one's a bad one to fly to, but I'm doing it anyway. We found the coyote summon. You know what? That would be worth it if I had a summoner. You may be noticing a theme with some of our problems in that it is because we don't have a lot of classes still. We're still missing a full third of the game's classes. Oh, we're back here. I know where I am now. Which gets us to where these checks are, I think. Apparently that isn't even one that tells me what key it needs. It's just, hey, this door's locked. Foliage key opens this, though. Oh, it's probably both buttons. That would make sense. Foliage and cave keys open this up. And then I presume this opens? No, it's still locked. Oh. Are there more buttons? Maybe there's more buttons. Is the button still down? So it's not like I need to like have somebody stay on it, which I can't even do. Probably gotta climb up here then. Fine by me. I like climbing. Which is, it remains an ironic thing that I enjoy climbing, but I hate heights. Like, it's just an eternal old backwards nonsense moment there. Okay, this needs canopy key. We at least know what we need for that, instead of it just telling me it's locked and telling me to go fuck myself. Sonic. Which we do know of a few keys I could hint for, too, if I was concerned about that particularly at the moment. There's the canopy key, and there's the rampart key we know we need. And there's one other key we could hint for guaranteed. There's also the other prison keys we could hint for if I really wanted them. Some of those have to be like in Spyro or something, though. Cross shield. As much as the dueling shield's been nice... No, that's not worth trading. That's only 9 more defense in exchange for losing counter. I'd rather go back to the blood shield if I'm gonna do that. And I don't like not evading physical attacks at all, so that's why the blood shield's kind of just sitting there. Lifesteal is nice, though. You may be hearing the occasional rumble of thunder again, because it's getting rowdy out there again. Still, we cleaned up most of the jungle checks we are allowed to reach. We gotta get to that somehow. which I'm not convinced I can reach it, but I'm gonna have a look. Wow, I actually reached that, huh? Why would you wish this upon me, Lark? Why? But congratulations on the 3-stream streak there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. God damn it. Don't mind me breaking the laws of physics. You know what? That's fair. I can understand that. Landed it. Doing completely unnecessary things here. Okay, we can actually start getting to some ground from there, so maybe this is not as unnecessary nonsense as I thought. If I can land this. Problem is, I keep fumbling the damn inputs because it's a lot of inputs together. There we go. No sooner do I complain about my hands fumbling it, does it work out. And we found a place we can climb up, so actually this works. Once again, I do stupid nonsense that somehow works. So that is the Archipelago way. Gold ore. No point in going back that way, I don't think. Because all the checks are cleared up now. That was the Weaver Outpost scramble. So it might be that... I don't know, it says scramble down the escarpment from Weaver Outpost. Nice, nice. Glad to hear you're doing well. And I've been hearing nothing but good things with Subnautica 2. Hopefully that keeps holding up. Whee! Speaking of holding up. Fly... I don't think we're making it across, though. I think we're gonna hit the water before we... Yep. That's fine. We came from up there to begin with, so there's no real reason for me to fly back across. I just wanted to see if I could. That does mean that this... Oh, that is a shrine. So yeah, let's go hit that shrine. So, don't I have the Europa Stone? Yeah, I do. So never mind, that's the shrine I got here from. I'm glad I didn't drop down in order to activate that then, because that would have been very silly of me. That would have been a very big waste of my time. What that means, though, is the jungle's done until I can swim. Or until I get Summoner. See, that's the thing. Underwater, I can understand being relaxing. On the surface of the water, I would not find that relaxing. It's an interesting split there. Out on the top of the open sea, I tend to not enjoy. Underwater, I can see being relaxing. As long as, you know, you've got your breathing situation sorted properly. That's kind of important. Why is it telling me these checks are in logic? I can't get to the Sky Arena. Is there a way to break into these things or something? Or is it just saying you are capable of winning the Sky Arena battles, so clearly this is in logic to do? No, it's just... See all these chests that are marked on the map? If it's a chest, it's reachable. If it's a minus sign like this, it's not supposed to be in logic right now. It has built-in logic for the map. Which is really neat. It's been a little finicky at times, but it's 90% of the time been correct. Yeah, exactly. Some of the things it's convinced I'm able to do are interesting. What it probably is telling me is that there's enough elevator parts that are reachable in logic that I can get to it. But I don't have enough elevator parts to get to the Sky Arena. No idea. I don't know either. That's the curse of this being a blind archipelago, is I don't know how to get to anything either. I have to make it up as I go along. But yeah, I need 10 parts and I'm missing 2. Oh, I've played the game, I just never finished it. I've certainly never gotten as far as I am now. Yay. Because I offered it as a sub-goal and people hit the sub-goal. So now life happens. More or less there, or Ghost, more or less. It's even got job crystals. It just also involves a lot of parkour. I've certainly succeeded for a good long while. We're almost at 900 checks out of 1,250 for the game, so... 3/4 of the way. He's pretty good for somebody who's never played this game before. So I am naturally good at jumping around to places I'm not supposed to. So... this game's kind of a natural fit for me. Not quite that fast. I would need to know where I'm going to jump at the speed of sound. I definitely have places to go, though. Now that item's under me. Huh. Across the reservoir. Now it's saying it's on the same floor as me. What? So, sometimes the height tracking feels like a load of shit. I swear it lies to me sometimes. I remember when these guys were dangerous. And they would actually like, actively chase me. Now they're just little gray flames that just don't want anything to do with me. Because they know they'll die. And there's this. This fucking thing. Jump through a window. Huh? Instructions unclear. Not allowed to jump through window. Can't break the window. Huh? Maybe I jump through the window up there. Because there is more than one window. And it certainly wouldn't be our first bit of breaking and entering. It won't be the last. No? No, that window doesn't do anything either. Whoa. Like, these check names are kind of like the star hints in a Mario game. It's like, okay, you're giving me a vague idea what I'm meant to do here. And yet, I feel like I'm being lied to again. Ah. Except we've been in this room before. God damn it. Still doesn't solve this problem. Just making sure there's not like a gap, and that's what they mean by a window. I'm officially over it again for now. We'll figure that out later. Whee! The townspeople must get so sick of me just flying around on my giant barn owl. It's like, well, there goes that idiot flying around town again. Why is he even here? at least fight in our arena for our amusement. I would if they'd let me, but you know, damn elevator's broken. Nope, this is just leading down to water. We got more map coverage though, so there's that. Did I get everything down here in the Undercity? I feel like I didn't. Let's see. Undercity chest even... Oh, right, the rafters. They're in the goddamn ceiling. I gotta remember how to get up to the rafters. Thankfully, they're not raptors, just rafters. I hit my head, and now I'm down here. God damn it. I suppose it's better than I hit my head and now I'm dead. Nope. And the infinitely better news is the fact that I don't have to worry about fighting these things anymore, because they are too weak to fight me. Okay, now we're up here. Looks like this leads to one of the ones. Is in the wall. Bloodbind. That sounds like fun. And there's the other one. This was much easier than I thought. And much less worthwhile than I thought. You know, man can dream. See if this leads anywhere. I dealt with that man before. That guy in there. That weirdo. One bottom corner there. Doesn't seem like it. They fenced that off. Why have they done this? Okay, this leads me back around to the shady man who literally did nothing for us. He opened up a crystal that literally we could have just gotten to other ways, as it turns out. Well, no, that was the crystal that did nothing. It was just a save point crystal. Most annoying thing out of this whole Undercity section. There's apparently a check over here we can still get, though. Underpass chest, lovely bounce tree west of the Undercity. And the Paw Summon are both over there. I feel like I had a reason why I didn't do that. But I'm gonna go back over here and check. This is, of course, the curse of doing these archipelagos like once a week. Oh yeah, this is where the Shadow Master was. Is you forget why you didn't do things. And yeah, we have to swim to get there. This is all water all through here. Case in point, it being called the Central Pipeline part of the way through here. So that's dead to us now. We've been up to Ganymede Shrine, so theoretically the thing at the top of the shrine here, like the game's telling me, should be doable. We already bought you out of everything you own. Yeah, because we can climb up this far, we just can't climb up the rest of the way, because this is out of our reach. So the idea is having to go back across on the mountainside somewhere, presumably. And I just didn't bother to do it before. Like, you can see that I checked around partway, I just didn't commit. Does this do anything? No. This is in fact nothing. Let's go get these instead, then. Sandwich. Go for one of those right about now. And again, I could always go for one of those. And sweet pop candy. Also acceptable. are still checks up here with us as well. Skulk behind crates near Assassin Lounge. Among crates across from Assassin Lounge. It's in a room. There's a bed. Problem is, I feel like I've been to the Assassin Lounge before, and it's not at the height that this is telling me that this is. So I could have swore the Assassin Lounge was down below by the Undercity. There's apparently a chest right in there. I just saw it. Just gotta figure out how to get at it. There's, of course, that chest right there that the owl gets us to. And it was just fucking milk again. I agree my party needs strong bones, but let me tell you, we don't need it. We don't need it that badly. Aha! This, I presume, was the room with a bed check. No, the room with a bed is over there. This is the one I think I said was going to be the room with the bed. And turns out it wasn't. Who knew? One of these times, I'm gonna end up accidentally activating one of those stones. I'm gonna be so upset with myself. Since I haven't shown them off today, those stones send you to one of those shrines, whichever the shrine's name is. And we've been to all of those shrines now, so warping to them would be pointless. How do I get to the in-between here? There's clearly... Like, you would think that this stack of crates here would be relevant for that. Considering, you know, it's a stack of crates that's just kind of here. We do see the room as I'm flying over. Dang it. Gotta be another way up. Right, there is. Hey, up. It's called not hitting my head on the ceiling. Nope, that ain't reaching. Admittedly, still a good idea not to hit my head on the ceiling. I don't know why there's a hole out the back there. Why is there a hole here? Hello? Why does this exist? Ordinarily, when something like this is here, it's because you can, like, sneak around somewhere, but clearly that doesn't do anything. Weird. Maybe that's just to teach you that those holes exist in some of these houses and you should look for the other ones. That might be the thing. Yeah, that just leads me here. That's what I thought. I'm in the poking and prodding random things phase of things right now. Don't mind me. We've tried to get these checks before, and I was foiled. There's so many checks behind the Sky Arena. It may be worth my while to wrap up before too much longer, though. I'm starting to hit the point where I'm getting tired. And we've definitely gotten the vast majority of the easy-to-reach things, I feel. There is this stuff over here still. Land's End and everything. Ah, okay, just a random late stream from that section. Okay. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna hint something for Bomberman and see where it is. And depending on what that tells me, we will make a decision from there. Okay, that deep sea chest is not reachable. Up north, Kintar Nest Waterfall is potentially reachable. Any other health ups? No, it looks like that's the rest of the health ups for Bomberman. There are just no other ones. Okay. Yeah, I think 8 health is as high as Bomberman Hero goes. So let's have a look at the map again and see where that Kintar Nest Waterfall thing is. I believe I've seen that before. I want to say I looked at that and was trying to figure out how to get to it, but didn't follow through hard enough. Tar Mausoleum. Yeah, this one. Underpass chest, up north, Kintar Nest Waterfall. Presumably something involving in here. This is obviously Kintar Nest. Our fastest way there, I think, is going to the Rent-A-Kintar and going around. Just gotta... I think it's literally right here is where the hole into the nest is. So since it's saying it's out of logic, it may be a swimming check, which would mean the remainder of our Bomberman health ups are behind swimming. And if they're behind swimming, that means we need to prioritize finding our mount upgrade. Yeah, that's definitely going to take too much swimming to get to. So let me then hint for the progressive mount instrument for this game. Oh, this is the wrong window. God damn it. That was the Kirby window. Castle Sequoia 2 fish. I can reach that, and that's in my own world, so I should go get that. Like, that's just in Crystal Project. The funny thing about that means I think every mount instrument's... Yeah, every mount instrument's been in Crystal Project. So aside from classes, Crystal Project's been able to solve itself for the most part. The whole way. Because it's needed classes and keys from the other worlds, and that's it. And we have an access point for Castle Sequoia. So 2 fish. Oh, that's all the way down. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. I've learned where our remaining mount instrument is, where I can get, presumably, swimming. It's all the way down here in the basement of Castle Sequoia in a check that it says I can't do, complete with a frowny face. Now, I don't know why I can't do it, so let's go find out. Castle Sequoia was very, very scary before, because the enemies in here were very strong. They're blue flames now, so we should be able to survive in here. We also didn't have the owl, so crossing gaps like this wasn't really possible. Which may have been part of the issue as well. If you're worried the audio has died, no, there's just no music in here. Actually, no, we've been up here before. I think I did, like, nonsensical goat parkour to get there, though. Whee! Yeah, now we're back down here in Lava Land. Which, even with the owl, I'm probably going to be better served riding the mushrooms to where I want to go. Trick there is going to be figuring out where I actually want to go. Assuming this actually leads to where I want to be. At all. Because there is the boss over there. But I don't really want to toy with that because that is way too strong with the color of flame that that had. No, come back. Hitch a ride. And we flip sides. Get jumped. Just ditch him in the lava. Okay, yeah, there's gonna be a way to flip back. So we ride this mushroom down here, and then we can warp up here. Get jumped again, which is not what I want. Okay, that's how we get to the boss. That's not what we want either. But we're learning. You need to go this way around, actually. I think I bumped the ceiling. No, I guess maybe I just hit the lava somehow. Huh. We can go across this way. This is just where another enemy lives, though. Yeah, see, these witchlings used to be really dangerous. I'm assuming they're probably still pretty dangerous. Yeah, we'll look into trying to get down here to get to this check to see if it's even possible, and then we'll probably wrap up. This way we end on a high note, and we can potentially do a lot next time. Ow, okay, no, they're still really dangerous, as it turns out. That might very well be why this is shown as an unreachable check. Is because it's still out of our strength range. Says as he goes back there again anyway. I want to look at the map. Up through keyhole over lava. The thing that's bugging me is I don't know how to get further down. It almost feels like you'd have to beat Parasite X in order to be able to go down, right? Unless there's another path somewhere in the foyer that I missed. So it is all the way down to basement 3. That we're trying to get to, and this is just the dungeon floor. But I suppose it would be worth our while to make sure that there isn't anything else. No other access paths or anything. It looks like everything leads to just jumping down that hole to go into the mushroom lava land. At least we mapped it out properly. There may be like another entrance to Castle Sequoia proper or something, instead of the part we're jumping into over and over again. Because I definitely don't think we're getting anywhere here. Which at that point, the only other play I would have, since our mount instrument's down there, would be to try to find another, like, level up montage or something. In order to get stronger. Unless over or on this side is something else that I didn't notice. Like something I can reach. This thing is, there's that lava pool on the other side of this wall that we somehow saw at some point. There's that other check right there with the keyhole. I guess we could go get that, see if that's something. Because despite the fact that it's saying that that's not a doable check, that clearly is reachable. In theory. But it's probably telling me, hey, stupid, don't do this, it's fucking dangerous. You're gonna get bodied by a witch again. And it wasn't worth it, it was just a gold ingot. But that proves that the checks in here are doable, you just need to be able to survive the witches. But I won't be able to fight Parasite X. So if Parasite X is required to go further down, then we're SOL. Let's go back over to where Parasite X is, though. I want to see if there's any kind of indication that that's something blocking the path or anything. No, actually, I'm a fool. I needed to be over there. God damn it. Because it's the top left that leads us to the Parasite X spot. So I actually need to ride the vertical crossing one over here. Just dump the idiot in the lava. And I don't mean me this time. Here to here. Yeah, it's not guarding anything. It's just here. We even stole the chest that was next to it. So I suppose we could just die to it and find out how strong this thing is. Oh! To unlock the path forward, you must defeat a vision of your past. So this does open the path forward. Okay. Slow. We have defeated some strong foes before, and it's interesting that it's the Parasite again, because we fought this thing in the trials. And it's doing the same things again. Just higher numbers, I presume. So maybe this is doable? Depends on how much health it has. The fact that it hasn't had anything happen to its health bar very much concerns me. Mushrooms themselves aren't super strong. No stronger than they were before, really, I don't think. Okay, that hurts, but that's doable. That's survivable. We did have him weakened when that happened, but, you know, still fine. I don't have enough AP to coup de grace. You're getting targeted by everything, so you need to heal yourself. Otherwise, you will die. Still might die. Oh. Okay, they just hit Alea a lot harder, which makes sense because she is much more fragile. Oh, instead of healing her, I guess we're just bringing her back to life instead. Ooh, that double tap was almost really bad. Okay, another 2,000 damage and its health bar isn't even showing signs of having changed. You know, this could be a problem. Great work, Rachel. Okay, it's down to pink health now. We're getting somewhere. Considering 2 people need healing, doing that's a better idea. We might be able to pull this off. I feel like it's a bit of a reach, but I think we can do it. It depends on how much health it still has. Ow. That's an issue. Our healer's asleep. Rachel's tanking hits like a champ, though. Now is a good time to armor boost, Rachel. Thankfully, Tao is the only... Oh no, Cornelius was affected by that too. Shit. That's a problem. Heal Rachel. Tao, please. You need to live. Admittedly, Rachel also needs to live, but one problem at a time. This is getting really dicey. See, I had faith initially that this was going to work out. I'm steadily losing faith, if I'm honest. Problem is, you have no real means of healing yourself. You can potentially get rid of this Funker, though. No, you didn't kill it. Thing is, they're all gonna get attacks before Tao can get another heal off. And Tao's also out of MP. Never mind. The good news is stance changes don't burn the turn, so I have a plan. Except, no, I don't, because Waterbend takes too much AP, so that plan just physically doesn't work. Sometimes I do a great job of not calculating the thing I should calculate. And now everybody but our mage who's out of magic is dead. May as well switch to N-Ice then. Except you're dead, so it doesn't matter. Because apparently that one does take time. Theoretically, that might be doable, though. We were doing well. Our shortfalls are in the form of Tao and Alea being very fragile. But they're casters, so they're going to be fragile no matter how you look at it. What do I do to fix that? Could give you Protect Amulet, but I don't feel like that's gonna matter enough. The Awake Ring actually is an idea. Him being immune to going to sleep will be helpful. I wish you could equip a book. If you could equip a book, I could boost your MP so much. And I don't think you have Equip Book as a passive anywhere. You do have Equip Staff, but I don't think that gives you MP. Pretty sure stabs don't have much there. You should probably have Critical Turn, though, instead of Critical Power. This way, when he's about to die, he gets a turn. That way, he might be able to turn things around. That's worth thinking about. At this point, I feel like the red hairpin just doesn't matter anymore. That said, I think after we fix up everybody's setup here, I do think we are going to raid out. Because as much as I could theoretically make that fight work, I think I'm better off delaying that idea. I I think the mana ring might be a better choice for you, just so you have a little bit more juice to work with. Because you also can't use books. Like, that's our big problem now, is both of our casters can't use things that give them lots of MP. His books are the big MP charging source in this game. Like, I suppose I could give up the... No, there wasn't a hat that gave MP, though. This gives MP regen, which could actually make the difference, admittedly. Losing the spell lifesteal could be really bad, but it might be a play. Considering she has the ability to heal herself with AP instead of MP, I think it could still work. But let me have a look at my list and figure out where we're going. Is 5.5 hours, I think, is good enough for today. Howdy, Suki. Welcome in. And thank you, thank you. Hopefully you're doing well. You are catching me just on the way out, but either way. Hope all is good. Ah, well, hopefully you slept well then. And knock the game audio for a moment here so I can see what's going on here. Okay, you are playing with people, you just don't have them listed for some reason. That one's a maybe. Sharing nice with our friends, after all, is always a good choice. So, I gotta finish unrolling the CVS receipt that is my raid list here. Make sure there's not somebody else that I'm like, yes, that one. Of course, and thank you for hanging out, Yura. Just gonna take me a minute or two more to figure this out, because I am picky. No, I think we will go with my first choice, though. As usual. Wait, really? I've rated them 2 times in the last 30 days? Really? When? Better question is, do I care today? Absolutely, Lark. I mean, I usually try not to raid the same person a ton, but at the same time, I'm deciding whether or I feel like just sending it over here anyway. And the answer is, since I'm aiming for one of my easy choices, we're gonna go ahead and just raid Mel anyway. Mel be playing some repo, so that'll be entertaining. So, thank you all so much for taking the time to be here. We will be back on Monday with Final Fantasy III, since I did finally do the grinding to get that back in good order. And then Tuesday will be Dark Souls 2, which I didn't do the grinding completely for yet, so that'll probably be part of what I'm going to do today. Then Thursday is looking to be repo for the lobby that I'm setting up. Friday will be a bunch of Lurkit stuff because I will be almost out of time on some of those at that point, so it has to happen at that point. And then Saturday we get back to doing the archipelago that we've got going on right now. So, thank you all again. Be good to Mel, she's good people, and I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.